Hello everyone, this is Javi Rios of Beefy Gamers. I'm with my good friend and co-host
Sith Lord Retro 80s Jinx.
I do like that t-shirt, Heavy Metal.
Heavy Metal Cat.
Heavy Metal Cat.
Yeah.
I love cats. Some like heavy metal.
I think we'll start a new collection of cat shirts. There's one with a cat on it, and it has an upside down cross, and then little horns, and it says Lucifer. Stuff like that.
I know Maynard has a band called Pussifer.
Pussifier?
Is it Pussifer? I think it's Pussifer.
Like
It looks like a cat and like a devil cat. So he's very beat you to the punch.
No, but he doesn't have a shirt. He just got shitty music for it.
No! Yes.
It's what, Tool Part 3?
So basically, the first 8 episodes have been mostly talking about video games and how many games we've been playing and, you know, what we suck at, what we like, you know, yada, yada, yada. So this episode is more of a different media. We're going to be talking about mostly movies and TV shows. And we are going to have, the last topic is going to be about addictions of collecting steelbooks because you got your video games and movies. So right now, before we get into any topics, we're going to talk about like what we've been watching recently. So I want to throw it back to Sith Lord Jinx and see what he says and what he's been doing.
Well, like I mentioned just a couple seconds ago, in my daily name change, I picked up a movie I already have, Punisher, circa 1989, I think, with Dolph Lundgren. It is like such a horrible movie, but like I described, it's like a train wreck. You can't look away. I mean, I love 80s movies. They're so horrible. You know?
Yes.
But right now I'm in that funk. It's like, you know, sometimes I think about it because with our games and everything's so much attention to detail. But when you look at 80s action movies, it's like there's no logic involved. There's no... You got unlimited ammo and unlimited health. Basically. You gotta love that. And just the dialogue is horrible and it's just awesome. I mean, that movie was a treasure trove of gems. Like Lou Gossett Jr. when he's like, I've been tracking the Punisher for 5 years, and I got this map with all these little red dots, you know, to show for it. And, you know, I've been following him, and you're telling me you're going to find out where he's at with that box on your desk. What is that called? A computer? I was like, wow. Because I guess, you know, computers aren't just barely coming in. Yeah. She goes, yeah, I'm going to do it. It's going to show me the locations of areas. So she does it, and then a map pops up that looks just exactly. She goes, it pulls all the information from all his whereabouts and, you know, puts up a map showing where he's been and the killings. And so the map pops up on her screen that looks exactly like the map on his wall. And you would think, you know, oh, she showed him. But me being exposed to details and stuff, and then my little humor goes off. As like, if I was him, I'd say, hey, fuck you. You know, it draws information, and probably a lot of that information was the shit that I logged in from the crime scenes. So fuck efficient. You, woman. You're just regurgitating all my hard work. So it's just stuff like that. And then another thing, he's sitting, he goes, all I got to show for it are these calling cards, and he shows her the knives with I think most of the budget was spent with the Punisher skulls on the knives because they couldn't afford to get him a t-shirt with the skull.
Jesus Christ.
So he goes, I got these calling cards and a box full of shells, and he drops all the shells from apparently a machine gun of some sort. And I'm thinking to myself, what the fuck? He has evidence on his desk? Shouldn't it be in forensics? Shit like that. It's just, oh my God, I love those movies.
Maybe he got on eBay. I don't know.
You know, it's like, because you're holding on to evidence right there on your desk when they could be studying it and moving along and trying to find out. And those knives, come on. Those are unique knives. It had to be custom made. You had to get them from somewhere. You know, so... Yeah, you got a very lazy detective there. But so I love those movies anyways. But yeah, that's been watching, and hopefully I'll continue for the rest of the week because I intend on buying all Dolph Lundgren movies.
Jesus, don't do that.
Yeah.
You probably go to Walmart. You can buy for $9.99. You can probably get like 20 movies from Dolph.
But I want them in Blu-ray.
Oh my god!
So they gotta be at least $14. Because I already looked up Punisher in Blu-ray, and that's $14.99 at Target. So I'm already starting, and then I haven't looked at the other movies. Hopefully they're available because I want He-Man. I
like that one,
and I want the really horrible one that he comes out with that Chinese guy or Japanese guy that died, Brandon Lee. Big showdown in Little Tokyo, something like that. Where he comes out, he's like a martial arts expert, and Brandon Lee knows nothing of martial arts. I think we talked about it last time. I gotta have that movie. I got it. And then of course, then after him it's Wesley Snipes and pretty much Steven Seagal and Jean-Claude Van Damme. I'm gonna get all those. I'm gonna get a collection. I'm gonna sit down and just buy Bad Food, sit down and watch all of them back to back. Double Impact. Logan Wyatt where he kills.
You should play that game called Bro Force because it's pretty much all 80s and 90s action backed heroes. Yeah. And you could play all of them, dude.
See, but the thing is, I really hate all that stuff. But I just one of these days I want to torture myself through all those bad lines and just horrible things because they're bad. But it's only a phase because you can't do it all the time. It's like
yes, it comes around.
Yeah, you know what I mean. And then it goes away, and then you go back to watching decent movies that with a budget that wasn't $50,000 and half of it was blown on hookers and cocaine. Because that's pretty much what 80s feels like. Dirty 70s porn. That's what 80s movies feel like. But I've been slumming it with those movies. That's what I've been doing.
Yeah, for me, I don't know. Like, I have my catalog of shows I watch, daily, and I don't know. I just felt like I wanted to go back and one of my all-time favorite shows is called The Shield, and it was on FX, and it was like Vince Mackey, it's like this group of guys, special force, corrupt cops, and it's just like what you were saying, like those movies from the 80s, like about details, like there's always holes in the story and stuff. It's like that too. Like they do some stuff that's like, okay, like that's bullshit. Like they should have been caught on this and this and this and this. It's almost like one of my other favorite shows used to come out on Fox, called 24. In 24, they would do a bunch of stupid elaborate shit that would never work in real life. So, but going back to Shield, like it was such a great cop show, and I like cop shows. Just recently I like cop shows. The ones from like the early 80s and 90s I don't care for, but the present, yes. And The Shield is just like, it just has a lot of grit. It's kind of like The Wire and all. It's just really grit, and it was by accident. I just saw like one of their back episodes, and I started renting the first few seasons, and I was like, man, I can really get into this. So I didn't catch on to like season 5 almost, and it's a lot of emotion. And I just finished up season 6, and it's really sad because one of the main guys dies in the end, and I still like tear up, and I've seen this episode at least 7-8 times. So I've seen this series like 6, 7, 8 times, but I watch like every other year. I can't watch it every year, and it's like, I think it's like 7 seasons, and each season has like maybe 12 episodes, 12, 13 episodes. But it's so good, so intense. The stories are good. But when I get older and like you hear like some of the dialogue, it's like it sounds kind of stupid. And there's those little one-liners, and it sounds kind of forced. So you start finding all those holes in the stories, So I kind of like going back there because the writing was really good, and it had that gritty type film to like the Shield can never be on Blu-ray. It has to be on DVD. It's just because I have them digitally. I bought season 1 on iTunes, and I play it on my either iPad or on my laptop, and it still has like standard version, like it's cut on the sides, like it's not widescreen shot, it's just straight up like what was it, like I think it's like 480 by something, resolution. Yeah, standard resolution, dude. It was pretty. It's still cool, man. Because I love the camera angles. I love how there's like that. There's that. What do you call it? That noise. They call it noise on the video, where it has like the speckles on there, and especially like in the nighttime. And maybe probably because I ripped them from online too, so the resolution's a little lower. But I remember watching them on TV, and they still had that speckle noise on the film, where it makes it just a little more grittier. So, and it's the same creators of Sons of Anarchy, so it had a nice transition from when this show ended and that show began. So, and it actually used like some of the same people. So I was kind of praying that, like, hoping that some of the characters would show up on Sons of Anarchy as the same characters. But actually, the funny thing is, some of the actors showed up in Sons of Anarchy, but they were different actors, different characters. And I was kind of sad after that. I was like, fuck, never mind. No collaboration. So that's what I've been watching. And it's a good break, man, because I just beat Resident Evil 7. And I am playing my older games, like The Walking Dead Season 2. But I like to watch shows. It's just a nice breather. It's a nice breather. After you beat the game, you don't want to just jump into the game. You kind of want to watch something, just chill. Going. I'm not a professional gamer anyway. I don't need to go jump from one game.
Like me, I finished Resident Evil 7. I started again, but only because I was tired. I didn't want to play it again, and I wanted to play it again. But I really only, since I knew my way around, I only spent, like, really honestly 5 minutes, so I could get to a save point.
Yeah.
I could try out my new weapon and just save it for another day.
Yeah.
I only played 5 minutes, and I was hungry. It's like, okay, just want to do it real quick so I could get started, so that later on when I start, I don't have to go through the introduction, because you have to go through the whole thing again. Driving the car, it's like, I don't want to do that. It's like, just like ripping off a Band-Aid. I'm going to get that crappy out of the way, so when I come back, I'm just full game mode. Which, I don't know, maybe another week after I get through my 80s phase.
There you go. I'm probably going to stop watching The Shield and then get back into Walking Dead Season 2 a little more regularly, because I want to beat it. Because I know Season 3 just came out, I think earlier this month. I think it's coming out. I think it came out last month. But it looks really interesting. So, and I love the writing. I love the voice acting. The animation's fine, but you just get used to it. But so I guess we're gonna go to our first topic. And topic number 1 is our opinions about Logan and our expectations and how we, how after it ended, like what our opinions were after it ended. So I guess I'll go back to Sith Lord Jinx.
Alrighty, Logan. I went to go check it out this past weekend or sometime. I think it was the second day after it was out. Mm-hmm. I guess I should warn about spoilers, because I'm just gonna go through it.
Yeah, it's a spoiler alert. So if you don't have to watch part 1. So our views are gonna be very low on part 1.
If you haven't watched Logan, don't listen to this. Anyways, I enjoyed the movie. It was awesome. In fact, I enjoyed it. I like the Wolverine, certain aspects of the Wolverine, because they included parts of the comic book. If anybody's ever read the miniseries, the part about the bears and that, they stayed to that. I like that. The rest of the movie sucked balls. Origins definitely sucked balls. But I have it in my collection. But this last one was really, really good. Really organic, I guess. The acting was really deep. And I teared up a couple of times through the movie. It was complex. It was interesting. And the only thing is, I don't know where it fits on the X-Men timeline. Could be canon. There's talk about that. It could be its own story, an alternate future, an alternate universe. But it's gotten to the point where I really don't care about that stuff anymore. It takes
place in 2029 too.
Technically, but it doesn't fit in with the rest of the stories. It doesn't fit in with Days of Future Past. It doesn't fit in with Apocalypse. It doesn't fit in with a lot of things.
The timeline changed.
Exactly. So it's an alternate change or whatever, because this is really way off. And I'm now mind that it didn't really follow details of the Millar comic book. There was no Hulk inbred family.
Well, you can't.
And I'm glad. It's fine. But in the movie on its own, without the comic book reference, because it was loosely based, but not really. I really loved it, and made me cry, and of course, Logan dies and this and that. But what really shocked me, and I told the person at work because she's like, "Oh, somebody spoiled it for me." Because I told her, I was like, you're gonna enjoy it. I go, "Do you mind if I tell you something?" She goes, "Well, people have already spoiled it for me." I was like, "Well, it doesn't really have to do with it." When she goes, "Logan dies, right?" I was like, "I'm not gonna tell you." She goes, "I go, it's Professor X." He goes, and she's like, "He dies." I was like, "I'm not gonna tell you." I go, "But what I want to tell you is that he drops F-bombs." I was like, he says "fuck." He says "fuck you, Logan." Yeah. And I don't know if anybody else, if it's not just because it's Professor X, but because it's Patrick Stewart.
Yeah.
And I didn't watch this last one where he plays some gangster guy, but I watched them to Star Trek and I watched them to the X-Men movies, and I had to go back and figure out that it was his voice that narrates the beginning of Ted. So that really doesn't stick into my conscious, those two movies. But I've never seen him, not used to seeing him, especially as Professor Xavier, cuss and tell Logan to fuck off. And I was like, oh. So I was in shock for about 15 minutes.
Well, he's also senile too.
Yeah, but the fact that he was like, "fuck you, Logan." I was like, whoa!
He doesn't give two fucks about anything right now.
So I was like, yeah. I was like pleasantly like watching, like getting a dirty little secret or something. I was like giddy after I heard him cuss. I'm not gonna lie. When I saw him, when he was mouthing off and stuff, I was like, wow. It's like, so
it's like Grumpy Old Man.
Yeah. Movie. So it was like, I don't know. I really enjoyed that part, and they really did because I had read about it months ago that when Hugh Jackman talked about the movie and its scope, and he wanted to flesh out the relationship between